I'm out for the evening collecting somebody from the airport here in Shannon. So time to meditate while I went down there. I stopped in Tuam and went into the cathedral in Tuam. I'd never been in there before. I was kind of shocked what they did to the sanctuary, and it just looks so out of place. But sure, this is the craziness in the church today, that we spend millions, literally millions, on fixing altars that never needed to be fixed and sanctuaries that never needed to be destroyed. But anyway, there wasn't any adoration chapel in Tuam that I could find near the cathedral, so I just prayed the rosary there for a while. But what something was coming to mind was, and maybe this is for priests, especially for priests, Christ doesn't want us in purgatory. What is purgatory? It is refusing to sit down with Christ, beside him and have a conversation with him. To think that we'll go to purgatory means that there's something in our life, there's some distance that we want to hold between Christ and ourselves. Yes, Christ, I love you, but I'm not giving you this, or I'm not giving you that, or I'm not going to struggle with this. I just can't do anything, and I love you, but I don't love you. It's kind of bizarre, because I fell into that temptation. Christ doesn't want us in purgatory, and God forbid he wants us in hell. He wants us talking with him, beside him, having a conversation as if you're facing me, conversation, enjoying the conversation, enjoying his presence, enjoying the food he's giving us to eat, which is his heart, which is very hard to understand. And I suppose the message really from Christ is, if there's something in your life that you're not happy with, know that there's somebody there that's willing to take that away and to replace it with something that's far greater, far more beautiful, far more profound, far more that'll really transform your soul. And maybe this message is meant for somebody, I don't know. Christ wants us beside him. He's the greatest gift that we could ever have in this life. The peace beyond anything that you cannot imagine. And it's important that priests especially open souls up to that grace of encountering something that is going to take away their pain, their doubts, their fears, their anxieties, their depressions, and all of this. If we let go of what is destroying our lives will be completely transformed. And I do think this is a vital message. Christ doesn't want us sitting at the back of the audience. That's really, I often wonder in Ireland, and I'm sometimes guilty of myself. You go into a church and everybody's at the back, and is this Irish thing? Those who were last will be first, or first will be last. Okay, I understand that what Christ is saying, but sometimes Christ is just saying, look, I've prepared a meal and I want you all sitting down here beside me. You can't eat the meal from the back of the church. Come up and sit beside me. Know my love. Encounter my love. Sit with me. Stay with me. Pray with me. Bring other souls to me. We have to evangelize and give this message to this world. It's just completely transformative, guys. I don't know why we struggle with it. Why we struggle with these stupidities that we have in our life for so long, and then we don't understand that Christ is there to transform our lives. Anyway, God bless, and pray for me, and I'm sure this message will help somebody. You don't have to live in hell or in purgatory in this world or in the next. Christ wants you beside him. Beside him. He wants you to look into his eyes. I've seen his eyes. I've seen his face. I've seen his crucified body. I've heard his voice. I know where I'm going. I know who has loved me. I don't have to discern that. I know that. And that's something profoundly humbling and profoundly challenging for me, because this has to be known. The world has to know that there's a God that has created us for love. He is created to redeem us, to bring us to a place that we've never experienced before. That encounter with Christ begins on earth and will end in heaven. And people need to know this. The church needs to know this. This synodal process, which is the biggest load of capital B, capital S that I've ever seen in my life in Ireland. I'll say that again. The synodal process in Ireland is the biggest capital B, capital S that I've seen. And I'm not afraid to say that, because you have completely you've emptied the sanctifying graces from this church in Ireland in that process. Hopefully they'll learn the lessons from it. There's not one single word of what grace, sanctifying grace, does to a soul. There should have been the first thing. We need to open souls to sanctifying grace. Not a word. People don't know it because they haven't a clue what spirituality is. They don't know what confession does. They don't know how to preach the gospel. They probably never learned how to do this. They probably don't know how to have that profound encounter of Christ that just won't leave you. I don't know. I do wonder sometimes. But look, imagine Christ as the greatest healer that you can ever encounter, and he will heal you. He will transform you. He will transform your life. He will transform everything around you. You just will not see the world again the way you saw it before. You know, the synodal process can't save you. The synodal process isn't a path to heaven and will never save you. The church will come to realize this someday, maybe too late. Or maybe it's an exam. Maybe this is a good exam from Rome to see who has faith and who doesn't. It's just a copy-paste mirror of what the world has to offer. Encounter Christ. God bless. Take care. Bye-bye.